into the Real Tea with T3. I'm your host, Tisha Harris, and I'm also the team leader of Texas Trio Team, and I've got a counterpart with me. Who are you?
Michelle Duty,
And what do you do?
just a realtor.
So we have someone that's going to really dive into what it's like to be a business owner, not just for one business, but multiple. So who are you and what keeps you busy these days?
Hi, guys. I'm Stephanie Newman. Well, first and foremost, I'm a mom of two beautiful little boys, Parker and Preston. They are 3 and 6, and they keep me super busy. I am also the owner of Board and Brush, which is a local DIY creative studio that is right off of downtown on Austin Street. I also own a organizing business called 2Ps Organizing. So I organize home offices, businesses, homes in general. And then I am also a full-time licensed insurance agent at Farmers around the corner from you guys right here downtown at the Christie Sloman Agency.
So like you said, I mean, like you're a mom, like that's number one, but I mean, it can be difficult to manage one company, let alone 3 companies with having kids. So how do you keep it together?
I have a great husband. I have a great mother. They are both behind me 100%. Casey takes on a lot of the nighttime while I'm at Board and Brush or watching the kids on the weekends sometimes. My mom steps in to help if Casey needs to step up and help me. And then at Board and Brush, I have an amazing assistant. Her name is Mona, and she takes on the day-to-day while I'm at work at the insurance agency. So she does a lot of behind the scenes, the printing, the weeding, the creating the stencils. And then I work for Christie at the Sloman Agency full time. And her being a business owner herself and being a mom, she completely supports me and understands. Like today, I should be at work right now. And she's like, no, go. I have a bridal party today at 1:00 that I've got to go host. And so I'll leave here, go back to the insurance agency for a little while, and then I'll go back to Board and Brush at 1. And she's super supportive and understanding and wants me to do my best. So I just have a lot of people around me who are holding me up.
Yeah, I mean, they always say that it takes an army, like as a mom,
A village, I have an army. I mean, I have all the things.
Yeah. So, I mean, what has inspired you to like do multiple businesses and be so invested into our small community?
So I worked for 12 years for a business out of Dallas. I was a brand manager, so I did marketing and advertising for a restaurant group. And I was spending a lot of my time networking and putting all of my effort and all of my relationships into a city that I didn't live in. And it was exhausting, like driving there for 2 weeks out of the month and, hosting meetings and having virtual coffees, all with these people that I don't see on a day-to-day basis. So my husband and I had a long talk, and we really just wanted to find a place where I could start to grow here, because this is where my children are. This is where I am. And I wanted to start to form those relationships here. So that's where 2Ps came from, because it was, that's my organizing business. It's always been like somewhere deep in the bottom of my soul is to just like help people be the best that they can be. And so we started a decluttering journey in our own home. And so when I quit my job in Dallas, my husband helped me and supported me in starting 2Ps. And so then we found out that Board and Brush was going up for sale, and something just called me, and I was like, I cannot stand to see Brenham lose one more thing for us to do, right? There's not a lot here that we can go and do. I mean, it's growing, right? We've got the brewery and we've got, a bunch of other places, but I just didn't want to lose that place of community, that place of creativity where people could come together and have fun in our city. As well as there's not a lot of places for kids. Moms are always looking for places to host birthday parties or to have outings. And Board and Brush is one of those places. And I just wanted to keep it here. So it kind of just grew out of just wanting to be a part of the community and wanting to be involved in the place where my children are going to grow up.
I didn't realize y'all actually had activities for kids there.
Oh, yeah. So once a month at Board and Brush, which is my other business, we do a family event. So it's a parent-child workshop, and we do that once a month, and you can bring in your kids. And then we host birthday parties. So like this weekend, I have a birthday party for an 11-year-old, and she's bringing 13 of her closest friends, and they're going to paint to their little heart's content. So we have a kids camp every summer. It's 4 days. They come in and do 4 different projects. So yeah, we have all kinds of stuff.
That's really neat.
Yeah.
Right. So walk us through, like, for someone that may be new to Brenham or maybe new to the concept, like, what is Board and Brush and what all can you create there?
Oh, the list is never ending. So first and foremost, it is a paint and sip, right? So it's BYOB. You can come in and date nights, girls' nights, even we're not gonna BYOB to our kids' events, but first and foremost, it's just a DIY creative studio, and it is a paint and sip. But as opposed to the other paint and sips that you guys might be accustomed to, Board and Brush is 100% customizable. So we have over, hundreds, I would almost say thousands of projects for you to choose from. And you get to scroll through from Christmas to Halloween to home decor to organization, like baskets and bins. The majority of our stuff is done on wood. You get to pick your project. A lot of it has customization. So names, last names, kids' names, anniversary dates, birthdays. You can put all those dates on there. We get it all ready for you. We build the project. We cut the wood, whatever it might be. We cut your stencils, get that ready. You come in and you work the process. We have like a 7-step process from sanding to staining to painting to stenciling. And then you leave with something you absolutely love. So as opposed to other paint and sips, we do a lot of customizable stuff, and we do a lot of stuff on wood. The other great thing about Board and Brush is that we have what we call specialty workshops. So we create cornhole boards, we do terrariums, we do tote bags, we do tea towels, we do wreaths. So we have a wreath workshop where you can come in and create a wreath. We do one of our most popular, did I say doormats? That's one of our most popular is the doormat workshop. So we do pillowcases and pillows for kids. And it's truly a DIY creative studio where we do pie plates and glass etching. There's a ton of stuff to do.
I love the doormat thing. That's an excellent, gift for a client.
Yeah, we used to give those to clients at their closing, but then it was, it became complex. So that's really cool that they can go in and create it themselves, what they would want on their.
And we also have a realtor program.
Oh.
So you can come in.
I know some of those.
Yeah, right. We plug. We also have a realtor program. So you guys can create, you can call in and say, hey, we're closing on this house, this house, this house, and this house. Can you create a doormat? Can you create a porch sign? And we make those for you and have them ready that are totally customizable for your clients.
Amazing.
Super cool.
Yeah.
So if you get to those girls' nights or, like when the ladies go out, and then do you ever have the experience whenever someone's just like, well, I'm just not artsy. I don't know anything about
all the time. And this is my favorite phrase. If you can make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, you can do this.
Right.
It's that easy.
Well, y'all do all the hard work ahead of time.
Well, not really, because you're sanding your project. You're staining your project. You're painting your project. You even have to assemble it. So we empower people. Like I've had a lot of ladies for the first time and have never used a drill. So we put the power tools in your hands and we make you learn.
Love it.
Of course, if you're uncomfortable, we'll do it for you. But we try to empower people to get out of their box and create something new.
So as far as like whenever you took over everything, this was a new adventure for you. But what have you learned about yourself and your community stepping into this role of opening Board and Brush?
So I don't know if you guys have seen, we have had a really slow season. So we started our Save Our Studio campaign on Facebook, and I may cry. The way Brenham has stepped up, like we did more the day after I started our Save Our Studio campaign. We did more in one day than we did the entire previous month in sales. And now this July is going to be which we've only owned it for a year, but it's going to be the largest July since Board and Brush opened in Brenham.
Amazing.
Like, I think people just, I I got to the point where my husband and I have been floating it for a year. We knew that it would take a little time to get it back open and back running and, get it in its groove. But after a year, it was kind of like, okay, we've been supporting it for a year. We've got to find another way to do this. And I told my husband, I was like, I'm going to ask for help. And he's like, are you sure? And I was like, what does it hurt? What does it hurt for me to say, hey guys, we need you.
Mhm.
Brenham, we need you. And let me tell you, it was the right move. I prayed about it and I prayed about it. And, cause you want to swallow your pride.
Mhm.
You don't want to say, hey, we're drowning over here.
Mhm.
Nobody wants to admit failure.
Right.
But also I think it was just, the post that I originally posted was shared over 130 something times. So it was the right move. God said, no, Stephanie, ask for help. And we did. And Brenham showed up, and I had no idea just the way the community would rally around us. And it makes me super proud to be a business owner in this city.
Yeah, absolutely. We're a part of the chamber too. And when we had our official ribbon cutting and everything, it was just like you meet people that you never would have met before, or people that they showed up just for our grand opening. Like, so I know that had to be.
Well, and that's how I met Christy. So Christy, where I work full time as an insurance agent, she's a part of the chamber.
Mhm.
And I met her through the Blue Blazers program, and she put out an email and was looking for an agent. And I said, I can do that, because we were trying to support Board and Brush at the time, right? I needed to be able to pay the studio bills, which is why I took this job. And I've fallen in love with it. So it's not going anywhere.
I'd love to ask you, like you said, you were in marketing in like the restaurant industry. And so like going from something like that in a bigger area to like what you just experienced with like a simple Facebook post, like, do you know that there's like a different way of marketing in small town America versus like the marketing that you did for other businesses?
Absolutely. I feel like in Brenham, I'm more looking for that one-on-one connection, those niches, those places where we can form relationships and create a lasting, like symbiotic, right? Like, hey, you guys are realtors. I do realtor I do the realtor program. Oh, hey, I have a lady looking to buy a house. Hey, call these ladies. I do work with them. It's a lot of just that one-on-one connection, as opposed to, I was a franchise company for my restaurant job. We had 30 locations scattered across the US. It was very blanket, right? We had to be able to reach the most people with the most impact, while saving dollars, right? And so it was, how can we get the biggest bang for our buck across the whole system? And that's really what we had to go with. Here, I get to look for those like special opportunities to partner and to create relationships and to just form bonds.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really what's working for me here.
So do you was it like on the social media standpoint or like on the mailing standpoint? Is that kind of the experience you had in marketing before? Or
So before, we did a lot of digital.
Mhm.
It's creepy, but we did something called geofencing. I don't know if you guys are
Yeah.
familiar with how
Yeah.
how deep that goes. But we did a lot of like geofencing. We did a lot of online. We did a lot of billboards, just different stuff. Here in Brenham, I do a lot of Facebook. I feel like that's where I'm older, so and Instagram is not really my thing, but I'm trying so hard. True millennial here.
Yeah, us as well.
Amen.
We don't do it.
I'm trying so hard, but I can't.
I went to a class one time and they were talking about Instagram and how like imperative it is to your business. And I was like, I'm not on Instagram. I was like the only person in the room.
So
My Facebook feeds to Instagram, so you're,
which they say not to do.
Oh.
That's taboo. They say don't do that. And even being in marketing, but I had people who did that for me, right? Like being a marketing director, I hired girls to post on Instagram to create, like I just said yes or no, that looks great, or that's on brand, but the actual creating of the Instagram content was not me. But yeah, so it's super hard for me. Like I went to Baylor. And when Facebook rolled out in 2004, it rolled out to Ivy Leagues, then it rolled out to private universities. So I was literally one of the like first like 3,000 people on Facebook. I think my number was like 900.
Were you on MySpace though?
Yes. Oh, wow. We didn't meet there. That's how we started dating. We've known each other our whole lives, but that's how we reconnected was on MySpace. So yes, absolutely. I was stalking him on MySpace.
With your featured song and your top 4 friends.
Was it 4?
It was 10. It was 10. I think it was 10.
I feel like it was 8.
Okay.
We're gonna have to Google this. But so I have been a Facebook user since like day one. And when Instagram came along, I was like, I don't need that. I don't need that, you know? And now I'm like, oh, maybe I do. And then TikTok showed up.
Yes. Brenham is actually, TikTok's growing in Brenham, gotta say. Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
And I'm trying so hard. I'm trying.
Yeah. I mean, it's really hard. And then even if you had every single social media platform, like
It's exhausting.
yeah, well, and it's like the kind of post matters on one versus the other.
Well, that's what I was saying. It's taboo to share your Facebook to your Instagram. You're not
Right.
supposed to do that.
Right. Exactly. And I mean,
It's okay.
It's the only way it's going to get.
As long as it's going to get done. I know, me too.
yeah, but I mean, then you're hitting a completely different demographic on
Right.
each one. So it just depends on what you're hoping to.
Well, you know, and then recently I've found ChatGPT.
Oh, yes.
Well, yeah,
We have to.
Hello, late to the party.
yeah, we've been on it about 3 years, and so
It would have changed my life if somebody would have told me way back then. But that helps me, like, because I'll have an idea, right? And I'll put it in there and say, like, okay, this is what I need to do. Show me the difference between Facebook and Instagram, or show me the difference. And it's been really helping me like curate that content for those different platforms. And then plus having 3 different businesses that because I'm running socials for the farmer's agency. I'm running socials for 2Ps. I'm running socials for Board and Brush. So it really helps me like divide and conquer.
mhm.
And I love it.
yeah,
I am not super creative. And so I've used Chat GPT for decorating,
Yes.
a room, to be able to take a picture of a room and say, decorate this room for me. And actually you can end up, helping clients see themselves in that space because
Oh, I love that.
absolutely, it's been amazing. I did that for a couple of clients so far and they're like, okay, that looks great. I can do that.
and then it shows you like whatever products are in the room. You showed me that. Is it like if say you love the lamp in the picture, it'll take you to the like where to go buy it.
Yeah.
It's creepy.
Yeah, it is.
It is.
Actually. It is quite creepy, but we're going to get killed by the robots eventually. It's just going to happen.
Yeah, and so I mean, like just as a business owner, I like have learned that like whenever you're just on a typical, even not in business, just personally, like you're noticing that whenever you go to like Google or wherever, it's automatically giving you the AI response.
Yes, that's new.
It's a new thing, and so like staying ahead of that is like really imperative for a business owner because people aren't looking up like best painting or best insurance agent in Brenham. Like it's not doing that. Our consumers, no matter what business is, are actually looking at more complex answers.
Correct.
And so it's feeding off of the AI, what is in the area versus like your typical Google search. Yeah.
And I think it matters too, like, because Google, owns the world. So making sure that like we do a thing in the studio, which has been helping us tremendously. And it's a win-win, it's a win for me and it's a win for my clients, but we do a drawing at every single workshop. And if you post on Facebook and tag us, if you post on Instagram and tag us, or if you write a Google review, you get an extra ticket. And then at the end of the workshop, I draw a winner for a free workshop. And so that has really helped my socials because somebody that may not see us, right? But their friend is in the studio. So now they're going to see that post or they're going to see that, so it really helps widen our reach. And then having that, I'm very proud to say that our Google is 5 stars.
Mhm.
So having that 5 stars, when you're searching or whatever, Google is going to push us up first because we have great, client response. So that matters too. And that has been really helping us in the studio as an actionable item.
Right. And go ahead.
No,
No, I'm sorry. Well, I'm just curious, like, as far as like let's dive into the organizational aspect
Sure.
of things. And so what was it that like was the trigger of like, I'm actually like this is something we did it as a project, but I actually want to do it for everyday people. Like it's easier said than done, I'm sure.
Oh, for sure. We moved. We went from a 1,700 square foot home to a 2,500 square foot home. And I told myself, like, I loved my home. It was so cozy and it was so comfortable. But I was like, I am not taking anything with me that I don't need. I need more space in my life. And so as we were packing up and as we were going through, I don't necessarily, I'll probably get whipped for this, but Marie Kondo that like, does this thing bring me joy? Like, I would throw away, like, I don't need a spatula. It does not bring me joy.
Mhm.
Like, there are so many things in my home that I would throw away. So I started going through as I was packing up boxes and being like, okay, do I need this? How do I use it? And my question that I asked myself is, if I needed this item, would I look for it or would I go buy it? Because there's so many things in your home that, I need balloons. What, are you really going to go for your birthday party? Are you really going to go to the balloon box and pull out your old balloons? Or are you going to go buy new party decorations?
Mm.
Because I'm somebody like I hoard party decorations. Like, oh, I might use this. Oh, I might use this. But really, like I'm planning my kid's Minecraft birthday party. I ordered the balloon arch and I ordered the cake plates and I'm not going back to that old stuff.
Mhm.
Right. They're going to be on to something different anyway.
Right. So I look at these items and I say, if I needed this item, would I look for it in my home? Kids medication. Absolutely. Before I go to Walmart, I'm going to go look and see if I have Pepto-Bismol or, whatever. So I'm going to keep these items. Or is it something that if I needed it, I would automatically go to the store and buy it?
Mhm.
Okay, then I'm not going to keep it.
Mhm.
And I started that little process and it just kind of bloomed as I went until I got everything kind of categorized and organized into what we need. Beauty products was another thing. Like, there are some things that I hadn't touched in years. And like the Bath and Body Works backstock, let's be real honest. I don't even use that stuff. Why am I keeping it?
Mhm.
And it's not like I'm going to re-gift it. It's been in there for 5 years. Throw it away, Stephanie.
It's not even a new thing. It's not even a new scent of the year.
Yeah, throw it away, So there was just some things that I was keeping and I didn't know why. So I just started working myself through that process. And when I decided that I was, done in Brenham, my husband was like, well, if you could do anything for anyone, what would you do? And I was like, I think I would help them organize their home.
Mhm.
And he's like, then do it. I was like, I can't. And he was like, no, you can. Do it. Go. Figure it out. And I did.
So is it very similar to like a minimalist or is it just
Not at all. I
no?
would not call me a minimalist at all. I call it functional organizing. Like, is there a place for minimalist? Absolutely. Do I wish I could be one? Yes, I do. At the bottom of my soul, I wish I could do that, but I'm not. I love a cozy home and I love having reminders around me of the people I love and the things that we've done together and the places we've been. So what I tell people is that if you have it, it needs to be displayed. There's no reason to have things in boxes or put away that, your grandmother's quilt. Well, if you want it, find a spot for it.
Mhm. Display it.
Display it.
Mhm.
If it brings you joy or, whatever, then don't put it in a box in the bottom of the cabinet and you're never going to use it or in the bottom of the closet. Like, if there's something in your home that you want enough to keep it, then use it.
Mhm.
Like my great grandmother's crystal glassware. It is out.
Mhm.
And guess who? My 6-year-old drinks water out of it.
I did
Mommy,
the
can
same
I have
thing.
the fancy glasses? Absolutely, buddy.
Yeah.
Like,
What are you saving it for?
what am I saving it for?
Yep.
Right. So we use the things that we love.
Mhm.
And I had to stop being afraid to use them.
Mhm.
Does my china go in the dishwasher? Yes, it does.
Mhm.
But if I'm not using it, then what's the point in having it? So that's what I tell people all the time. If you want something in your home, make space for it.
Mhm. Do you believe that, whenever someone is really disorganized and has a lot of clutter and things like that, they're also dealing with emotional issues as well?
I mean, I think you see a big correlation in that a lot of times. Sometimes you're just an overwhelmed mom who's working 3 jobs.
That is an emotional struggle.
Y'all would walk into my house and be like, why am I taking organizing information from this woman? But I mean, I'm in my house less than 3 hours a day and I have 2 kids. But it's one of those things where within 15 minutes, we can have everything put away.
Mhm.
Does that make sense? Because everything has a spot and everything has a home.
Right.
If you walked into my house right now, is my entire dining room table full of clean clothes? Yes, it is. But I do think that when you clear your home, you can clear your space and you can clear your mind.
Mhm.
It does help.
Mhm.
I think sometimes people have a hurdle of getting over that. This weekend is the anniversary of my father's passing. He's been gone for 7 years. And I had his robe and I held on to it and I held on to it and I held on to it. And it made me sad.
Mm.
Like, because I could see him in it and but it hung in my closet. It hung in my closet. And I thought, you know what? There are so many things about my dad that I love and that I have. This makes me sad.
Mm.
I don't have to keep it because it's his.
Mhm.
It was bringing me emotional baggage. And I got rid of it.
Mm.
And it made me feel so good. Like, I don't know, it may sound awful, but
Mm.
there are so many things that I have that were my dad's that I love that are out and are displayed. That one thing was in my closet, taking up space, and it wasn't doing me any favors.
Mhm.
So and it was hard. It was hard to take something that my dad wore every single day because he was sick for a very long time and that robe was his comfort. But that's what I saw. I saw him sick.
Mhm.
Mhm.
I understand how you would associate the two.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, he wore it for the last probably year and a half every day. And so it was that like, I've got to get rid of it, because it's not bringing me joy. But then it's like, oh my God, it was his. He wore it every single day. I can't let it go. I can't let it go. But once I did, it opened up room for me to see all of the things, to remember him before that, to see all the things that brought him joy and that we enjoyed together instead of just seeing him in that moment.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah. So do you have those moments with clients that maybe everything looks great, like from the curb appeal, but then you go inside and you notice like, oh, wow, there's a lot more work to be done here that could be like they're holding on to things that, clearly they should be letting go of?
Absolutely. And I think once I get in there, like I try to be my rule is that you can keep anything, but you can't keep everything. Right? So find what is most important. We have to prioritize. And that was with my dad. I can keep anything, but I can't keep everything. So I kept his cars, his race cars, and his duck collection and all the things that brought him joy. The robe, I didn't need to keep that, So it's that you can keep anything, but you can't keep everything.
Mhm.
And so trying to walk through that process with people. And I go off of the container concept, which I learned from another professional organizer. And it's your home is a container. Okay. At the very basis of things, your home contains you and your family, and there needs to be space for you and your family. And then the next step is every room is a container, right? And then within that, every cabinet, every drawer, every bookcase is a cabinet. And so the root word of container is to contain, to control.
Mhm.
A container is not, everybody thinks, oh, I'll just buy more bins.
Right.
Well, that's not the point. The point of a container is to contain, to control what you have.
Mhm.
It's a limit.
Mhm.
It's not buy more bins, stack more bins, no. So I tell people I always use a bookcase, right? Okay, we have this bookcase. We have 4 shelves. Put your favorite books on first. Okay. Favorite book, favorite book, favorite book, favorite book. Fill the bookshelf up. Now look at what's left on the floor. Do we really need that?
Mhm.
Well, no, I don't. No, I don't need those. All my favorite ones are already on the shelf. So I use that favorite first concept. Let's look at the space we have. Okay, this is our coffee cup cabinet because I collect coffee cups. This is our coffee cup cabinet. Put your favorite one in first. Well, my favorite ones hang on the wall. So I hang my favorite ones and I rotate them out. But Then I put my next favorite one in, my next favorite one in, and my next favorite one until that coffee cup shelf is full. And then I look at what I have and I say, oh, I'm not ready to let go of some of these. So I have another shelf. Well, what's on there? Do I want that more than I want my coffee cups, or can I make that a second coffee cup shelf? Oh, this is just random plastic glassware from, any random restaurant. No, I don't need that. I'd rather have my coffee cups. So I get rid of those plastic cups and I start putting that shelf is now a coffee cup shelf. And I put my favorite ones in first. When that shelf is full, I look down at those coffee cups and I say, no, I can let those go. So it's prioritizing, it's making room for what you want, room for what you need, and working that favorite first. And that's how I work through it with clients. And it helps when they see the things they love and they can reach them and they can access them. Oh, well, now I've seen all my favorite books and I can just come in and this bookshelf is not overwhelming. Then they start to release and let go and start to realize how this functional organizing will work for them.
Yeah. And that's always been something that I've been a firm believer of, because I love organization, and watching the show Hoarders actually like makes me physically sick. Like, because I'm just, it makes me just,
Oh my goodness. It makes me anxious.
I'm like, oh my God, no, I can help them. I can do this. Yeah. And so, no, it's just like, it really just like, it like makes my chest tighten of like, how is this even possible? Like, what happened in their life to make that happen?
Most people aren't there. Like, that's not a lot of what I deal with. A lot of what I deal with is just, I want a home that I can function in, but I don't know what to do with all this stuff. And once I start to walk through the process with them, I mean, most of my clients have beautiful homes. They just need help realizing, walking through those steps of what's functional and what's not, And I tell people all the time, like, my organization, and it's even written on my website, I am not the rainbows and the clear containers. And if you are looking for that home edit, that's not me, right? Because it's not sustainable for most people. If that's what you want, we can absolutely provide that for you. But at the basis of things, I'm a functional organizer. I'm not going to buy a whole bunch of stuff, because that's not what you need. You don't need more stuff to control your stuff. You need to control your stuff within the limits of your home.
Right. But I mean, like, one thing that I did love from Hoarders, and it may have just been one episode. I don't watch it a whole lot just because of what it does to me. But it was like the one concept that I learned from it was basically like you have a keep bin, a trash bin, and a give it away bin. And so, I mean, I do that with my kids. Like, I'll just like, here's an actual trash can. Here's this. And
so try the favorite first.
Yeah, totally. I love that.
That's a great thing with kids. So we do it all the time with our stuffies. We have it's not a trash can. It's a laundry basket that each one of them keep their stuffies in. We put our favorite stuffies in first, and then our next favorite stuffy, and then our next favorite stuffy. And we go down the line. And once the bin is full, we look over and we have 4 or 5 stuffies on the floor.
So do you do that exercise like with your kids, like especially after birthday parties or Christmas or anything like that?
And my kid. And so like if we look on the floor and we see like, oh, there's a stuffy that we want. Okay, well, you can put that stuffy in, but one stuffy has to come out because your bin is full. And it helps them realize, oh, well, I have my favorites. I don't need those. And my 6-year-old, he's like, Mommy, I want to be an organizer when I grow up. Mommy, I want to be an organizer when I grow up. So that's what he wants to be. But we also talk about the joy of giving to others. And so he goes to Christ Kids at Christ Lutheran. And we are about to go through, his birthday is August 6th. So we're about to go through our playroom. And he's like, I'd really like to take all of this to school so that we can play with it there. Because, they always need new stuff. Stuff is always breaking or getting lost or, whatever. So he's ready to go through his room or his playroom and find things that we can give to bring joy to others.
Yeah. It's so much easier to let go of items if you know you're giving it to someone versus trashing it. It's super easy for me to get rid of things when last week I gave away a cat tree. Sorry, I was supposed to give it to you, but I gave it to somebody else.
It wasn't my favorite.
But anyways, she had adopted a cat and needed a cat tree for her cat. And there I had it. And it was like, awesome. I was just so happy to get it out of my house and into hers. But my mom does the same, as long as, and sometimes you just have to pretend that you're going to use it and then just get rid of it on the side, donate it or whatever, because it makes her feel better to give it to me knowing I'm going to use it.
Right.
And then even if I'm not, I just donate.
Well, and that's something else that, like, when we go into a home that needs love, right? And they have to get rid of a lot and they want it to go to someone.
Mhm.
I have to have that conversation that give yourself permission today, just today, to get rid of it.
Mhm.
Because today is about you. You're always, we all want to give. We all want to make this item useful for someone else.
Right.
But sometimes I have to tell clients, today is not the day to give. Today is the day to give to you. And by getting this out, we don't have to worry about where it goes or what it does or how it's going to live its next life. Today we have to be concerned about you and your home and your space and your health. So sometimes I have to give clients permission to just throw it away or to just let it go. I mean, we have people who are worried about, well, I'm never going to use that shampoo. I used it once. I didn't like it. Throw it away. Well, it's a full bottle of shampoo
And it costs $20.
Okay, but today, what is it? Is it worth your space? I know you don't want to get rid of it. I know, but if you're not going to use it, and then just today I give you the permission to fill up a trash bag. And sometimes we have to have that conversation. But once they start to let it go, they start to feel that ease come on to them.
Yeah. And I mean, I think with a lot of people, like in our age gap or group, is like our grandparents or great grandparents were a part of like the depression. And so like I know personally with my grandparents, like they held on to everything, because you never knew if like there was a point in your life when you weren't going to be able to get it. And so it's fascinating, to see where that was versus where we are today. And it's it's so much consumerism and so much stuff.
Which, I mean, don't like, I may be preaching, but I'm not perfect. Like, I fall victim to the things that I teach every day. It's a constant battle because the world is coming at you. Buy this, try this. I mean, the TikTok shop, good Lord. Like, you can't help it. Like, so I'm not, I just try to remember. Like, I'm not saying that my home is not perfect. Like, I don't follow the rules all the time, but I just have to remember, like, in every 6 months, I usually have to go through my home and get it back to ground zero because stuff is constantly coming in. We can't stop it.
Right. And I mean, I'm just a firm believer, but that if you get rid of the things that are no longer serving you, that you create space for new opportunities in your life.
Absolutely. I mean, even my job, leaving my restaurant job of 12 years, it was no longer serving me.
So were you living in?
No, I was living here. Yes.
When you were working in Dallas. I meant to ask that earlier.
Yes. But that's what I'm saying. I was investing all of my time and it was no longer serving me. My children were here. My children were going to school. I wasn't able to go to PTO. I wasn't, because I was gone or I was, so it was no longer serving me. So letting go of that job opened up opportunities that I never knew would come to me. So absolutely.
Awesome.
So then we'll just like dive into the insurance side of things. Like that's just another thing that you can add in your tool belt of all the things that you do. So walk us through that as far as how you decided to do that.
It was an accident. As are most things in my life. Like I guess God just opens the door and they just come to me. I needed a job to pay rent at the studio. And it had gotten to the point where we had floated it as long as we could. And I needed help. We needed help in our family. My husband has a great job and he's super good at what he does. So he's able to, carry us. But it had gotten to that point, that tipping point, right? Where it was like, oh, things are getting a little tight. So I started looking for a full-time job because my organizing really it's here and there. And I have several clients that I do all the time, but it's not like, it's just something it's kind of like a hobby job. And so I needed something full-time to pay the studio's bills. And there was an email from Christy Schlotman to the Blue Blazers that was like, hey, if anybody knows anyone, I'm looking for a full-time licensed agent. And So I reached out to her and I went to an interview and we fell in love with each other. And I was like, I can do this. And so I went and took my insurance class and got certified and am now selling insurance full time.
Home insurance, car insurance.
Home, car, boat, RV. We're all property and casualty. We do business insurance. We do life insurance. We do pet insurance.
Mhm.
We do it all.
I have friends who have that.
Yeah.
Not I.
So we've just had clients and people in our world that have had a lot of insurance difficulties. Like it seems like the past year or so, it's been like a lot of changes in that industry.
There are.
Yeah.
And obviously I'm new to this, right? Taking my insurance class, I feel like I was so upset. Like I feel like this is what they should be teaching in high school.
Mm-hmm.
Like we should have an insurance class. We should have a house buying class.
Mm-hmm.
We should have a class on taxes. There's so much that I learned like through getting my insurance license that I wish that everybody knew. And so that's what I try to do. I try to be open and honest and fair and upfront. Like I had a client the other day, we signed a policy, we did all the things. And then she came back to me and she was like, it was a farm policy. And she was like, hey, does this have overspray on it? And I went through, and while it didn't say it didn't, it didn't say it did. And I was honest with her. I was like, I can't, it doesn't exclude it, but it doesn't include it. And she was like, Stephanie, I think I need to go to a policy that clearly states, because, they spray their crops and do and I was like, absolutely. She's like, thank you for being so honest with me. Of course. Like, I want you to be covered to the best of your, knowledge and my knowledge and your ability. And so I just try to educate people, on what they're looking for and what they need and what's right for them. And then whether they go with us or not is completely up to them. But at least I've educated them, because I feel like that's something I never had. Like, of course, the first thing I did when I got my license was go back to our policies and like dive through them, and my husband's like, I was like, we don't need this. We don't need this. Why do we have this? So that's what I do. I just try to educate people. And I mean, do I hope that they side with us? Absolutely. Do we agree? I think a lot of it for a lot of our clients too is sometimes they may pay a little more, but they get great customer service, right? Because we're servicing your policies every single day. We're checking up on them. We're making sure that they're going through. When the renewals come up, we're making sure that if we can get you a better rate, we're going to. So that's what it's all about over at Christie's. And that's why I love it so much, is that it's really like consumer first. She wants to educate people, because she didn't know anything about insurance when she started either. And as a woman, I feel like most husbands, take care of the insurance policies, but things are changing. And I just want to educate everyone on what's available to them.
So you said like when you were in school, like you had learned, like, I wish that there were things that everybody knew. What would be like 2 or 3 things that you could share with us that like everybody should know about?
So, the first thing is that like your dwelling coverage, right? Do you know what your dwelling coverage is?
Are you asking me?
Yeah. Do you know what your dwelling coverage
I have
is?
no idea.
You have no idea, right? So that's, everybody's like, okay, dwelling. Okay. That's what my home's worth. But it's not what your home's worth. It's what it would cost to replace it.
Right.
It's replacement cost. Oh, well, I paid $375,000 for my home. That's what I need, $375,000 in coverage. No. You need replacement cost, right? You need, if that house, you bought that house 3 years ago, if that house burned down to the ground today and you had to rebuild it, are you going to be able to rebuild it for $375,000?
No.
Probably not. So it's not $375. That's what your home is worth, or that's what you paid for it. We need we need replacement cost on that home. That could look a lot different.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something I never knew. It's like, oh, well, yep, this is what I bought my house for. Yep, that's what I need it covered for. I didn't know. Nobody told me that.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's one of those things. There's all these little nuances, with car insurance. You have personal injury protection and you have medical coverage, both of which pay medical bills, but personal injury protection will pay lost wages. Well, I have a lot of retired clients that are paying PIP, but they don't need it. They just need medical coverage, which is cheaper. So there's no reason for you to be paying personal injury protection to cover your lost wages
because you don't have any.
because you don't have any.
Mm-hmm.
So let's take that off your policy and let's put the medical coverage on, which will help with your medical bills if you get in an accident, but it's less because you're not paying, so it's just little things like that, little nuances when you're looking at your policy that I want to educate people on. Like I had a retired couple the other day and they were paying, I switched them from PIP to medical and we saved like, I think $60 or $70 over their policy period, which is a huge deal.
So do you ever do, sorry to interrupt, do you ever do like seminars or something where, say for instance, we had invited, clients to bring their insurance policies in and sit with you, and isn't it? So like
Copywriting it right now.
so we can just educate them like you're talking about. I think that's.
Do y'all watch Steel Magnolias on Netflix?
Yeah.
So when they had the whole
I watched the newest season.
Oh, well then, okay. Well then, spoiler alert. Well, she has an insurance seminar and teaches people because they have a traumatic event. Like I think if a hurricane came through, right? Because they're in like South Carolina or whatever. A hurricane came through and a whole bunch of people were like not covered because they didn't have this or they didn't have that. And so she hosted an insurance seminar where she walked through everyone's policies and helped them. So yeah.
Okay, admin. Schedule it.
Producer. Yeah, that's awesome. That's a great idea. Yeah, and I think that just some people or a lot of people are just so inundated with their everyday life, that they just are like, oh yeah, the bill goes out, but it could be like longevity, it could be saving them.
And I think that's the other thing too, is that people are like, oh, it's my renewal's up, it's too expensive. Let me just go look for another company.
Yes.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
Go to your insurance agent and say, talk to me about this. Why is my renewal going up? Because you automatically get angry, right? Oh, they're just charging me more money. Well, ask questions. Don't get angry. Ask questions.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, why is this going up? What are my coverages? Why do I have these? Is there any way that we can save money? Because it's easier to adjust your policy than it is to go find a whole new one. And especially with us, with farmers, that's what we do, right? So we have several places we can write your business. It doesn't have to be just under the farmer's umbrella. So when we have a renewal come in and their car insurance is going up $200, we automatically go in and quote that with our other companies and see if we can get them the same coverage for less money. So always go to your insurance agent before you just write them off and say, oh, they're charging me more money. Well, go in and talk to them and see if there's ways that you can rewrite your policy or that you can adjust your policy. Or maybe you have a driver that's no longer living in your home and you can take them off. There's always ways to look at it before you just have to like jump ship.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. That's great.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you are just full of so much amazing information. Like I know we could talk all day to you, just for the multifacets that you do. So if people want to reach out to you and just have a consultation about organization, insurance, or doing a project for their home, what's the best ways to get a hold of you?
Yeah. So at Board and Brush, you can just head on over to our website. All of our information is going to be there. It's boardandbrush.com/Brenham. For organizing, you can head over to 2psorganizing.com. All of our information, emails, phone numbers will be there. And then the Christy Schlotman Agency, you can just give us a call. We're right here downtown, and it's 979-353-5545. And you can just give us a call, or, I always tell people, Google's your best friend. Just Farmers Brenham. We'll pop right up.
So thank you so much for coming on with us.
Thanks you guys for having me. This has been amazing.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah. So if you have any questions for us, you can find us at Texas Trio Team. We hope that you have learned so much about how to be creative, how to get organized, and how this can help your life. So thank you so much. Take care and keep living your best life.